My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Every single week, we break down full UFC fight cards. We give you our picks, our bets, and our fantasy plays. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our content. And we're also giving away $50. Anybody who goes to WeWantPicks.com/bets, signs up with one of our 5 betting partners, and makes a deposit, will get $50 from us. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, however you want it. And this is brought to you by EarnU.io. EarnU.io is the world's first sports and esports prediction game, allowing you to earn crypto risk-free. Check it out now at EarnU.io. At UFC 274, we have the co-main event of the evening. We have Rose Namajunas fighting Carla Esparza in a rematch from 2014. Rose Namajunas, 11-4 overall. She's 4-1 in her last 5, and that lone loss was to Jessica Andrade, which she avenged. Carla Esparza is 18-6 overall, 5-0 in her last 5. And she's coming off a stoppage win about a year ago, 11 months ago. And this is a rematch from 2014. Carla took Rose down 5 times and submitted her in the 3rd round in that fight. And a lot has changed, and nothing has changed. It's a very interesting fight. I mentioned all of the female fights.
What's that quote?
Card.
The more we something, the more we stay the same. The more we change, the more we stay the same. Something like that.
That's so beautiful. That is so beautiful.
I think that was Neil Young or something.
That's magnificent. That really is.
Armor TTs.
Wow. No, I mean, that was, thank you so much for sharing that.
The more we change.
Okay. Rose Namajunas is in the
French
middle of her...
writer Jean-Baptiste Alphonse Carr.
Okay.
The more we change,
you'll get muted.
The more they I dare. I honestly dare you. I dare you. Watch what happens to the chat when you mute me.
Rose Namajunas is in the middle of her 2nd run as the UFC champion. She lost her belt the first time when she was dumped on her head by Jessica Andrade, and then won the title back with her spectacular knockout over Weili in April 2021. Rose is a very good fighter everywhere and definitely the more well-rounded fighter. She has excellent striking, very good wrestling, and solid BJJ. Rose has great footwork and deceiving power. She has wins over Angela Hill, Tisha Torres, Joanna Jędrzejczyk twice, Jessica Andrade, and Weili twice. And as much as I find myself wanting to pick against her, I cannot argue.
I was talking.
You know what's so funny? When I mute you, you can just unmute yourself. But
what?
Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, Carla Esparza is a very good wrestler that has 42 takedowns in 13 fights. There are 0 questions about what her game plan is going into a fight. She's short, and she just likes to shoot those doubles under her taller opponent's jabs and strikes. Her striking isn't great, but she does use it pretty well to close that distance and get to grappling range. Carla has okay top pressure, but not as good as you would like, and that's why she has so many fights with more than 4 takedowns. If her top pressure was so good, she'd have 3 takedowns in a fight. But she's got 4, 5, 7, 8, and then obviously people are standing up on her. People are standing up on her, and so she works for those takedowns again. And I think this entire...
that side you went, like, Jesus, like, can we be done with this?
I think this entire fight comes down to takedowns because I don't think Carla can hang in a pure striking match. And Rose does get taken down pretty often. Weili took her down 5 times in their last fight. And I honestly think Weili won that fight, and you trolls will make come, oh, you're still bad read, bad... I think Weili won that fight. Either way, that's not the point here. The point was Weili took down Rose Namajunas 5 times in that fight. And if Carla can get inside and keep a wrestling pace for 25 minutes, then this is absolutely her fight. This is such a tough pick, and it's taking everything in me to not just immediately pick Carla Esparza. Rose was taken down 5 times in that fight, and the judges still gave it to her. And Weili landed the same amount of strikes. I also think Weili is not as good of a wrestler as Carla Esparza, but the reason she was so successful with her takedowns is because her striking is a threat. Weili can threaten with the strikes. We didn't see a lot of wrestling out of her in the past, which is why she was able to get those 5 takedowns. There are 0 questions about what Carla Esparza is going to do. 0 questions. Rose is ready for it. Rose threatens off her back when she does get taken down. She's got a good get-up game. I don't know why I'm not a Rose Namajunas fan. I've picked against her a few times. I disagree with decisions when she gets them. I'm not a Rose Namajunas fan. You guys know I'm a lifelong wrestler, and I usually pick these wrestlers. But I'm going Rose Namajunas here. I think she's yeah, I know. I hate it. This is one of the picks.
This is honestly the most surprising pick you've ever made, to me anyway. I thought you were going to be all over Carlos, because I know that you don't really like Rose as a fighter. You love wrestlers. This is very surprising.
I surprised myself, and honestly, I may be getting influenced by the freaking commenters and all that crap, because Carla Esparza, that's what she does. But the problem is she will have to do it. She's not really a threat, right? She will have to do it for 25 full minutes. Rose is a submission threat. Rose is a threat on her feet. She does scramble off her back. So I'm going to go with Rose here, but I will be so happy to get this pick wrong. I love Carla Esparza. If she wins this fight, fuck the pick record. I don't give a shit about that. I will be so happy if I get the pick wrong. But I am going with Rose here because Carla only has one way to win and Rose has several. What do you think, Jake Lutz?
My ears are burning. Did I just hear what I thought I heard? Because that gives me a free pass to just start dropping like left and right. Because that was the big boy. That was the big boy. But yeah, you mentioned the key to this is 25 minutes of wrestling, because you have to win. And she doesn't really have to be, it's not really 25 minutes. It's really 15 minutes, right? You have to win 3 rounds. She has to be able to get takedowns in 3 rounds. And so what I went is I watched the Marina Rodriguez fight, right? Because Marina Rodriguez is a very, very dynamic, powerful striker, kind of similar to Rose, right? Marina has more power than Rose, but they're both very dynamic strikers. So when you watch that fight, she was able to get the takedowns. There was a split decision, but you start looking at those 3rd round takedowns, and those were pretty lungy, desperation takedowns, and she was able to kind of get those legs behind and trip Marina to be able to secure that victory. But in a 5-round fight, if she can't get let's say she can't win round 1. Let's say Rose comes out ready, is able to keep her at distance. She's got great kicks, that front kick, the jab, is able to keep her at distance, and she can't win the first round. Now you have to win 3 of the next 4 with your takedowns, and you kind of got to go all in. You can't really lose another round, because rounds 4 and 5, I don't know if she can get takedowns in rounds 4 and 5. I mean, Rose has been in those 5-round fights. She knows what she needs to do. Against Wei Lee, Rose was getting her own takedowns in the 5th round of that fight to kind of secure that victory for her. And if Carla's not able to get the takedowns in the 4th and 5th round, which I don't know if she is, and Rose is able to stuff the early takedowns, which I think she can, then now it's Carla only has the 2nd and 3rd rounds to win. I don't think she's going to finish Rose. She's not going to outstrike Rose. She's not going to submit Rose. So now the path to victory is so narrow. I understand you only have to win 3 rounds, and Carla only needs to get those takedowns in those 3 rounds, but with the level of competition that Roses face, and knowing that Carla is going to be all in, and people want to talk about James Krause. Trevor Whitman's fighters are always ready, man. Even Gaethje against Khabib, he was ready. He was landing bombs and had those opportunities against Khabib and found those openings. Rose is going to be ready for the wrestling early. I don't think Carla can get the takedowns late, and that's why I'm choosing Rose. If Carla gets the takedowns and is able to control her, good for Carla. I think that path is there. I don't think she can do it for 3 rounds, and I think that's why I'm going to take Rose by decision, or maybe a weird submission that in a scramble or something like that. But I think this is a Rose fight, and I'm a big Rose fan, so I'm a little bit biased, but I'm going Thug Rose. I'm going Thug Rose.
Yeah, I went against everything. I'm not a Rose Namajunas fan at all. I'm a diehard lifelong wrestler, and I should be picking the wrestler here, but and maybe it's because Rose I've been wrong so many times. She's like the only female fighter. I can't pick her fights right. And so, this is like George St. Pierre back in the day. I always was like, he's overrated. I picked against him. Then I finally picked him to win, and then Matt Serra knocked him out. So maybe that's what
you did the same thing with, I think you did the same thing with Connor too. I think every Connor fight you got wrong.
So I'm hoping Rose Namajunas loses, but logically I got to pick her to win. $8,900 in DraftKings. You got to have one of these women in DraftKings, and Carla's probably the better value because of the takedowns, because of the control. 5 points each.
I'm spending the $4.99 from Hank Hill on the donation. He says
Here we
Rose is
go.
a I feel pick. Carla is based off evidence and logic. One Cejudo champ Wei Lee is 1 for 10. The wrestling Carla is. Either of you two want to wager?
First of all, you read that like an idiot.
I thought, it was the cadence wasn't great, but because I thought he was like talking. I thought he was talking bad about Carla, but he's picking Carla.
No, he was saying that Wei Lee
is 1 of 10 of the wrestlers that Carla
Wei Lee hung out with
takedowns.
Henry Cejudo for a week. He's not near the wrestler that Carla Esparza is. Still has. Listen, I hear you, but what I will say, the reason Wei Lee
I
had
can't believe
success,
you're picking Rose.
I know.
I literally can't believe it.
The reason Wei Lee had success with her takedowns is because she historically wasn't taking anybody down. So that's not something anybody was prepared for or expecting. Then all of a sudden she's shooting takedowns and she's a threat on her feet. So you have to worry about her hands, and then a takedown comes. You don't have to worry about shit with Carla Esparza except the takedown. And that doesn't mean Rose is going to learn takedown defense. She was, she gets taken down.
She stuffed a few takedowns for Wei Lee late.
Yeah, because she started to figure it out, But anyway,
Right.
a very hesitant Rose Namajunas pick that I will be very happy to get wrong. Monkey Knife Fight, I think it's more and more. I think they go at it. I think it's a million strikes. I think obviously Carla does get takedowns, but I don't think she's going to get enough to win this fight. I mean, Rose was taken down 5 times in her last fight. The strikes were even, and she still got the decision. And I think it's more of the same. Judges are sort of wise to these desperation shots. Even when you get them, judges are like, nah, you looked panicky. I'm not going to give you credit for that. And I think that's what's going to start to happen. You agree with the more and more Monkey Knife Fight?
Probably.
Okay. Well, you guys can do that as well. WeOwnPicks.com/MKF.
I'll bet you, Hank. Let me know, Hank. I'll bet you.
All right. Hank Hill from the live chat and Jacob are betting Carla versus Rose. You want $50? WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners. Make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.